previous series, he was also being an impact player on the field again for Barca. So can he continue to do that for this team, or can Reciprocity figure out their issues? We are underway in game number 1. It'll be Flakes pushing up here for Barca. Ronicky next up, slows it down and just forces his way through. Big muscles on Ronicky for the first goal.
And again, you called Ronicky out, and immediately he's making an impact, and I love the play there. Instead of going for the pass off the backboard, you saw him hit the brakes. And by hitting the brakes, it allowed him to immediately set up the shot. You could see it even took Reciprocity off guard. Wonderful play from Ronicky to get that first goal.
Not how you want to start if you're Reciprocity. They haven't been able to take a game yet in the regional championships. That was a good shot. It was denied by Flakes. Now Barca on defense, but they've handled every touch pretty well. Devo on point, could not beat Rudy on the next touch. Chaussette on the rotation has the next save. Well, Flakes' attempted carry will be knocked away. He does get the ball out over to Devo. Barca have been playing defense for a little bit after that first goal, but again, very good clears. Not a lot of pressure for Reciprocity. Ooh, Flakes pulling off on the challenge. Devo comes in to keep it away, but that shot almost finds the mark, and then Devo comes up with the save right at the shot origin. And so it was looking a little dangerous there for Barca, but they do get out of their own half.
I like the defense I saw there from Farah. Ronicky was coming in for a shot. Farah got there first, kick-started that counterattack. And it was a good shooting opportunity. Fruity was close. See if Reciprocity can start getting more scoring opportunities. Just a single goal last series. You know they're hungry for more.
And that mid-boost steal did really kill Farah on that approach on the challenge. Reciprocity are forced to boom the ball away twice here, but that's a good pass to Chaussette, but he can't put it on target. That's the kind of bang-bang play Reciprocity need. Chaussette, it was a quick hit, and he just could not find the mark. Barcelona back in the orange half. Rudy able to get the clear back towards midfield. Chaussette flips by 1, but Flakes finds Ronicky, and Barcelona back to the opposite half.
And you don't want to give Chaussette the space to dribble. We've seen so many times what he can do. Good defense coming out from Reciprocity in that moment. Farah trying to lead that counterattack. But Chaussette, we've seen him dribble entire teams before, and they need a little bit of that magic right now. Their offense has been struggling today.
Yeah, we haven't really seen that Chaussette magic in a while. The 1v3 potential, but he's up for the air for this one, and Devo, all reliable in front of the net, will get the ball out.
And you think they might be having flashbacks to the last time these teams met in league play. Devo had an incredible series. He had, I believe, 10 saves one game. He was a brick wall in front of net, helping Barcelona get that win over Reciprocity in the regular season. And that defense is still holding up here as Reciprocity scoreless over half the game gone. Still looking for that first one.
Well, Flakes had a little bit of space, and he had Ronicky following close behind. Maybe miscommunication on how Barcelona were going to approach that touch on offense. But, you know, this hasn't looked bad. Ooh. Rudy, I thought he was going to find the bump on Barcelona. Ronicky will pick up the save off the shot from Farah. Chaussette quick around the corner. He's got little boost. And they'll have to retreat. That last touch to buy them some time from Farah. Or from Rudy. And then Devo just being a nuisance, preventing Farah from getting out quickly. Here's Ronicky, the shot blocked by Rudy. Barcelona starting to heat up on offense here, getting some consistent presence in the orange half. But Farah picking it back up on the air dribble. Saved for now by Ronicky. Fruity, the next man up, keeps it close, has to use the rest of his boost. And it'll be a dead play for now. Chaussette actually will get to the ball. I thought Flakes would end up getting to it, but he waited for the next touch. Barcelona now finding themselves on defense. Ronicky with the clear. Oh, an attempted double touch that went out. Devo's shot too low. Less than a minute. Barcelona was a good transition. Ronicky passed to Devo. Devo flying in, or Flakes, excuse me, watching Devo. And now Devo off the ceiling, nothing. Barcelona trying to keep Reciprocity locked in, James.
Some good attacks, and Barcelona was keeping them locked in. A lot of that started out with Ronicky going for that double tap. The defense might have thought he'd been thinking about going for a flip reset shot right on net, but no, Ronicky just goes for that double tap. It leaked out in front of net, And Barcelona getting some good pressure.
Flakes attempted on the flick, excuse me. Farah. Reciprocity just really haven't found consistent presence. The only man with any shots are Farah with 4. And Barcelona, long clear again against the back wall. Time expires, and it's looking like a fairly clean win for Barcelona to end game 1.
Just a 1-goal game. Still, the scoring troubles continue for Reciprocity, but they had some chances. Yes, Farah had some shots. He was the only player to have shots on Reciprocity, but you think back, there was a chance by Fruity where Fruity had a shooting lane, and so did Chaussette, and neither one of them were able to get much of a damaging shot that even forced a save or a rebound. So struggles for Reciprocity. Barca is looking quite calm on defense. They've had some calculated attacks, but really Ronicky has been the real player on offense for me for Barca. Multiple scoring opportunities generated by Ronicky, and that first goal that was a result of his delayed touch. You saw him hit the brakes and then go for net immediately, and that was the only goal that we saw in the game. It happened early, and Ronicky was the one to do it. So you put the spotlight on Ronicky early, and he answered very early. And we'll see if Barcelona can keep this momentum going as these games continue.
And it didn't really look that bad for Reciprocity. I thought they had some good ideas breaking out of their own half. They were looking for each other, even when Barca were kind of hunting in midfield for picks and maybe trying to catch Reciprocity on a broken passing play. But Reciprocity, they just couldn't find that next touch that got it in front of the box to get good shots on net. So I think Reciprocity, they have the right philosophy here on defense and on their progression to Barcelona's half of the field. But for Barca, I mean, they've just done a great job hopping in those passing lanes, making smart challenges, as you alluded to, James. Game 2, we'll see how Reciprocity can adjust. We'll see if they can get a little more pressure on Barcelona. Chaussette actually following that down off of Fruity's initial touch. I wasn't sure if he had the boost, and I switched to him, and he did.
I mean, he had
Just
free
could not
jump.
get the
He
shot.
had free jump.
Yeah.
He free jumped up on Fruity. He thought Fruity might just get a single touch. He adjusted in the air. And to me, the real difference in this game has been, Ronicky has just showed up as a player who can make that sole impact, make a play on offense. We're not really seeing anyone step up yet on Reciprocity. You want to see Chaussette do it, but we know Fruity has the ability. Farah has pinpoint accurate shooting when he's on point.
But they do find themselves on offense.
Yeah, he wanted to go back down on that pass, but the communication just wasn't there.
Even right here, it's a good initial touch, but right on top of it again was Ronicky. And it's so tough when you have the right idea in midfield there, Reciprocity, but then they get downfield. Chaussette can't really do anything. He has got no boost. And then losing that touch right there, it just makes it difficult to actually get a good progression. Flakes' touch needed Ronicky to bail him out, and he did. Devo in front, and Flakes is caught out too far forward. Can he get back in time? He can't, and Reciprocity will pick up their first goal.
And you saw Devo leading that attack, and he needed to get a piece of the ball on that challenge. Flakes put his trust in Devo right there, and Devo, he might have nicked the ball a little bit, but he needed to get more of a challenge to force that ball out to the side. Completely caught Flakes out. And I don't really blame Flakes on that one, because he's playing upfield. He's trying to keep the pace. He's trying to keep the pressure on. And he just expected Devo to get a hit.
Yeah, from his perspective, the way Devo was approaching the ball, it looked like a guaranteed at least a kill on the challenge.
Yeah, or that it was going to kick off to the side, and he'd be able to go up the wall and be able to keep pushing the ball downfield.
Yeah, that was probably one of the lower percentage things that happened was Devo only chipping the ball. I'm definitely with you there, James. And it's big for Reciprocity. You get a goal like that, and it feels good to have this lead. As you didn't really have a lead at all against Mouse Sports. You lost to the Arju effect, and
yeah,
you're still a little stunned from that. Blake's attempted carry blocked by Farah. The quick pass to Ronicky. Ronicky, the top corner, almost found it. Crossbar and out though. And still a little panicky from Shawset and Farah. Shot, oh, jumping in front was Flake. That would have been nuts.
And Fruity has 0 boost in net. And now, finally, Ronicky, after multiple attempts, can get it by Fruity only after Devo gets the demo.
He also forced Farah to go up the wall. He was kind of zoning Farah out too, because Farah was probably the only other player who maybe had a chance at that ball. And he forced Farah to slow down and go up the back wall, so he took out 2 players effectively on that play, hunting on the line. Devo under 1. Devo scores off the crossbar and in. What a play!
A nasty flip reset. You can see Fruity was trying to defend the double tap. Devo waiting until the last moment to flip his car around and go for the flip reset. Wonderfully timed. He had Fruity hook, line, and sinker on that play.
Right off the kickoff, but just don't stop. Ronicky had that first touch, but now Shawset 1-on-1, and he lost control of the ball. Trying to dribble. Flakes will take the next save off the attempted shot from Farah. Fruity, it's too slow on that shot, but Farah will continue. It's just not working out here for Reciprocity. Farah picking up a demo on the back end. Maybe giving Shawset a chance, but Ronicky will have another good touch to keep Barcelona out. James, Ronicky has been killing it on defense in game 2.
I mean, he's been killing it everywhere. Ronicky, he is such an offensive presence, getting that first goal. Devo, you look at him even scoring these flip reset goals, and it's hard to believe that he finished in the bottom 5 of scoring in the regular season. But you can start to understand it when you see how good Flakes and Ronicky are, particularly Ronicky, how good he is on the offensive end. You want to give him those shooting opportunities because rarely does he miss. But wow, what a shot from Devo. And Barcelona, you can tell they're feeling confident.
And they'll get another one here. Ronicky will score off the pass from Flakes. They caught Reciprocity out on transition here. It was a great long touch. Flakes was already downfield. Just has to beat Farah on the next touch, and he does. And everybody on Barcelona were just quicker on that. Reciprocity caught on the opposite side on the rotation. And Barca, they just continue. Ronicky has just been so good. I mean, that first touch to get it to Flakes, but Flakes has been, great to help Ronicky, or kind of be the enabler, if you will.
Certainly.
What did she call Arju before? Whatever he is, the enabler. I'm calling him that.
All right, well, I would agree with that, because what Flakes is so good at doing is making at least one person miss. And he gets that from his 1v1 abilities, his flicks abilities. He's very confident in taking out at least one defender, or getting it by one. And now another goal comes in from Flakes. This time, now everyone from Barca getting a goal in this game. And that was a perfect bounce off the top of the ceiling, coming right back out to the middle. Flakes blasting that in off his Roadhog. And I believe that is the XL version. Yeah,
that Roadhog XL. Best of the game.
Is this the XL? It's so hard to tell nowadays.
I actually think this is the regular Roadhog. But Flakes, almost another goal and another shot for Ronicky. And Ronicky's got a hattie in game 3, or game 2.
And there you go. Ronicky, we've been talking about him. And he shows up yet again. He has been rock solid for Barca.
It's just the consistency is, there aren't many players who are as consistent in a series like Ronicky has been the last 2 series that he's played, or not the last 2 series, last 2 weeks that he's played, where he just, every time he touches the ball, it seems to be going into the net. You'll see players do it time and again, but they get shut down every now and then. And Ronicky, that kind of happened to him early on in the season, but when it's mattered, Ronicky has stepped up big time. His accuracy has been crazy. There was only one shot that he had missed, but it was kind of a half chance where he just ripped it to the top corner. And that was a dominant game 2 for Barca. It almost started out disastrously, but they recovered very quickly.
They certainly did. And, Jorby, I don't really want to throw you under the bus too bad, but it was the XL. And, I just have to set the record straight. I have to set the record straight.
I decided my reputation with cars, this season, I have to take both sides. And,
what's your favorite car?
I'm still wrong.
Roadhog
XL. Seriously. I'm not kidding. I love the Roadhog XL.
Right, there you go.
It's a big daddy.
But
It's the big baddie.
But-
It's Roadhog Big Baddie XL.
And it's working. It's working for Flakes. He was really fast to the ball. And at Barcelona, that has just been that's just kind of been their MO this game, is always just that split second quicker. We saw it on that goal. Flakes barely beating out. Was it Farah or Fruity? I don't remember who it was, but then Chaussette came in for the challenge. And again, Ronicky was there. And Ronicky, he was in the Golden Striker race. He finished in the top 3. He was even, scoring tons of goals last season as well. So you can't count this guy out. You can't ever count Barcelona out, even though they had such a rough end to the season, a very difficult end to the season. They are bouncing back when it matters in this regional championship.
And it's for Reciprocity, this just you have to be gutted at this point. I mean, this team has gone through trials this season where, they were the regional champions out of Europe at the end of season 8. The same roster, the same team, the names haven't changed, but the gameplay has. This team has struggled, and they have to try to figure this out because they have yet to win a single game in the regional championship. They might be in danger of getting swept twice if things continue on their current trajectory. That's a good first attempt for Farah, but his shot is denied by Devo. Who, like you said in game 1, James, Devo was Reciprocity's worst nightmare. Reciprocity outshot Barca by 30 shots or something like that, and just couldn't come up with a single goal because of those 10 saves from Devo. And even in the later games, like he had 5 in another. So Devo picks up another. His all-time save record here against Reciprocity is pretty high. Rudy, does he have a double tap? No, it's just taken away, and quickly up to the next touch is Ronicky. Barca again on defense. They just really handle the pressure well. They don't panic. 2 shots for Reciprocity on that attempt, but they come away empty.
And good speed from Flakes on the challenge. Fruity does well to keep the ball close. He's going to try to make Devo miss as well.
Still space for Barca. Devo expecting a fight with Chaussette. Able to get that ball out to midfield. He'll have to get another clear. It's a long ball. Nobody from Reciprocity able to get to it. Farah did find the read in midfield. Chaussette hops right on top of him. Now Reciprocity have a chance, but again, the positioning from Barca, it's so hard to get by them on defense, and then their transition game has been so deadly as well. They've caught Reciprocity out a few times, rotating back to net, and that's almost an own goal, and it's still saved somehow. Devo and Flakes keep the ball out. Are you kidding?
Reciprocity has to feel cursed. They had 2 chances that looked like they were going in, that hit off the post, hit off the crossbar, hit off the defender. It's hitting everything but the back of the net. And Reciprocity, the only goal they've gotten was that one dunk on Devo. Devo didn't make a touch on the ball. It wasn't the prettiest of goals. You know that Reciprocity, they're dying for a quality goal. They just need something to spark some sort of hope that their offense can do enough to get some wins, but that happening has to take the wind out of any sails that they had.
Devo right there, he stuffs Fruity, trying to force it towards the box. Fruity had approached the challenge almost perfectly, but then Devo just kind of sits on it. And then he gets the next touch to get the clear out, and Barcelona are back on offense. I mean, Barca, it does feel like the series of league play. It feels like Barca can do no wrong, and it feels like Reciprocity do everything right up until they get close to the box, and the push just seems to die. But credit to Barca's defense in killing it. Another good touch from Devo. Devo's having a great series. A lot of solid touches. And last season, I felt like Devo had struggled at times as a third man and also in his challenge game. But today, it's pretty lights out for Devo. And Ronicky, talking about Ronicky, he's definitely the goal scorer. And we've certainly given him the credit he deserves. But I just think Devo as well has just been a great third man. Not even just a rotation, just for Flakes and Ronicky, the perfect role for Devo. Another touch to get it out. Reciprocity are starting to hunt towards this Barca net. They're having struggles.
Devo. Oh, that shot challenges Flakes. He gets the clear out, but Devo, you're right. He's that rock in the back that can get it clear up to either Ronicky or Flakes. And Flakes and Ronicky are just using their raw speed to overpower Reciprocity at times. And you can never count Devo out, because we saw earlier going for that flip reset goal. He's got the mechanics to also dust anybody that tries to challenge him. So Barca, they're a triple threat team. And despite these couple off series they've had, they are starting to look ferocious yet again. At times they looked like a top team over in Europe. At times they looked like they couldn't hang, but today they're looking like one of those top teams.
They're looking for that next touch, but he just didn't have enough boost to get back to it. And it's another good clear from Barca. That time, Ronicky, the man to do it. Coming to a close in regulation. And it's just been a battle in midfield for possession. There's Farah getting a bump. Fruity gonna carry. Does he have something? No. Flakes has to save, but Shawset has the shot, and there is Ronicky. We got overtime.
Scary moment for Barcelona. Shawset had that shooting opportunity. Fruity also trying to threaten that flip reset or the pass. Didn't come to fruition, and now Shawset!
No!
Oh no, Shawset! He completely whips. He's in net with plenty of boost. And he just turns right. I don't understand what happened. Shawset just drove past the ball. Shocking moment.
Got it. I said got it after the last game, but that time, oh, that has to hurt. I have to wonder what was going through Shawset's head as he was looking. He was maybe expecting a wider shot, maybe just a mistouch on his controller.
To me, it looks like he might have, his thumb might have slipped or something.
Yeah.
Because he drove right. The only other possible explanation was maybe he thought somebody was behind him. I'd have to go back and look, but I don't think that would be the case. But that's possible if he thought maybe he was going to start moving up to get a hit. But I honestly think it was just a mechanical mistake, just a slip of the finger, and he completely botched it. So it's unfortunate for Reciprocity. They've still only scored one goal in this series. They scored one goal in their last series. And now things are only going to get more difficult. They're down 3 games. They were swept before, and it looks like we're seeing the same thing play out this time, Jorby.
And for a player who Reciprocity has relied on in the past to put them over top of a team in a series, to give them that next edge, Shawset is the owner of more than a couple of 1v3 dribble beauties. And for him to be the owner of that mistake has to hurt him more than anyone, for sure.
He's the mechanical leader of this team. You think about who has the most ability to make all these crazy technical plays. It's Shawset. So to see a mistake from him on the goal line in such a big moment, because if Reciprocity wins that, it's 2-1. They're back in the series. They have a chance. And to lose that series in that way, it seems like it could be too much to come back from. But we'll see.
The way Barca have been playing, it certainly feels like a sweep is on the horizon. Nope. Reciprocity, still some good ideas in that last series, and it was much better on defense as well. Flakes, second touch, he actually flipped into it as well as Ronicky. Bit of a miscommunication. Now a chance for Reciprocity on the turnaround. Low off the back wall, it will be taken away. Fruity couldn't get to it in time. And again, Flakes on point here for Barca. Fruity tried to find that next touch. He just ended up taking, or the launch, Ronicky beat him to the ball. Another high touch, but Barca first to it again off the rebound. Now Reciprocity, they're back on defense here, and they're just forced to try to play this slow. And as soon as they do try to catch it, there's the first man on Barca just immediately hop on there. They're waiting for a second, but as soon as they even sniff that Reciprocity, try to slow it down, it's just full boost, pedal to the floor, make the challenge, and then they're back on offense. Well, Barca, this will be a long clear for Reciprocity. Even their Shawset just couldn't find the read there against Flakes, who switching it up yet. Excuse me. Switching it up yet again on the cars. And 2 minutes in, though, and about where we left off in the last game.
And you know, even though the cars switch, there's always that roach. You always got the roach. The cockroach just sitting there on top of the hood of his car. Gives us some sort of
true power.
continuity.
He gets all of his power from that roach. Ronicky, that's a good touch. Reciprocity. Chance to break out downfield, but they're struggling to win these midfield boosts. They did pick up the back, full in the tanks. Now they're on offense. Chaussette next up, but what can you do? Devo makes that challenge. 2 commit in midfield for this play. Devo will try to keep this close to him. Ronicky and Flake's time to recover, and he does do that. And this is just a dump from Chaussette. Now we're playing reactive for Reciprocity, but the backboard has been completely unavailable for Reciprocity. That's the first time they got one, and they make Barca pay. Farah picks up Reciprocity's second goal of the series.
Yeah, and you could see the defender in net. Ronicky even had boost. You saw someone jumped in as well to try to block off Ronicky's jump. Chaussette got the backboard pass, so good pressure finally from Reciprocity, a quality goal we see come out from them. They had to throw in a little bit of that aggression, and now another shot, that one turned aside, and a demo, so we're seeing the aggressiveness, which has worked so well in the past for Reciprocity, is what got them the win versus Dignitas in the final week of league play. We're finally starting to see them bring that out with their back to the wall.
They have kept Barca pretty low in the scoring department in the last 2 games. But they're going to have to do it for another minute 40 here. 1 might not be enough, but good rotation from Farah. Back over to Chaussette. Reciprocity just trying to find a way in, looking for insurance. Another good challenge from Devo, but now Barca positioning doesn't afford them to make the next challenge. Flakes has the save. He needs the next touch. Working in a low boost situation, but he loses the challenge to Devo. Flakes immediately turning back around, wins 1 touch, essentially wins that one against Farah. And actually Flakes gets back to this, gets the pass to Ronicky, who was expecting somebody to be ready. It had to be Devo in midfield, but now a turnaround, the shot denied by Flakes as he smacks it into the ground. Barca keeping the scoreline 1-0, but Reciprocity look in control right now. We're ticking down in this final minute, James.
Yeah, they're holding all the cards at the moment. Farah putting in an insurance goal. So life is confirmed on Reciprocity. Wonderful touch from Farah, setting himself up for the shot. You can see the scrambling defense from Barca. Just couldn't get back in time.
Yeah, it hasn't been mistake-free Rocket League for Barca in this series. We have seen double commits on really every half of the field for them, and it's usually Ronicky and Flakes are the 2 committing for the play. There was the one earlier in this game in midfield that they had that, you know, it ended up giving up possession in a chance where you could transition down the field, where they were successful earlier on. A 3rd goal almost to really put game 4 away. But it looks like Reciprocity are finally going to pick up their first victory. Unless Barca could somehow pull a miracle in 10 seconds, that shot will be turned away by Farah. And take a deep sigh of relief. Reciprocity, you pick up a 3rd goal. Chaussette will take 1. And they're in this series.
And showing some life finally, and this was a very one-sided game. Reciprocity on the attack pretty much the entirety of the game. So well done. They forced 11 saves out of Barca and still managed to put 3 by him.
As soon as the ball touches the ground, we will move on to game 5, but you know, Barca, they had this trouble against Reciprocity in league play. Even though they had won that series, Reciprocity were still able to pepper shots on net onto them, and they were able to get 12 in this one. And like you said, James, 11 saves for Barca, but just wasn't enough. And a lot of times it came off of double commits. There was that one where Flakes had smacked it into the ground, but Ronicky had also committed to it on the play, so they have to definitely figure that out, because if Reciprocity gain this confidence, and they have this confidence pushing down the pitch with all three players, Barca might be in trouble, but we don't see reverse sweeps all that often. We saw one in Europe last season in the European Regional Championship with Dignitas against Barca. So let's see if Barca don't let themselves repeat history.
And they're certainly trying not to. They were able to avoid some of that reverse sweep history this season, but in the regional championships, we'll see. It's gonna be a surprise if it happens. To me personally, I think Reciprocity, they have a lot to do. There's a lot of work ahead of them, but they scored more goals in this game than they had in all of their previous games today, which is kind of crazy to think about. So Reciprocity, they kept all the pressure in this game. They had multiple chances. They looked like the better team on the field. Barca didn't have any answers, but now Reciprocity is going to have to do this 3 more times. And to hold off this Barcelona team, that is a tall order, especially if Ronicky starts heating up again and starts getting some scoring opportunities.
Reciprocity needs some more magic. Try to get a top 4 spot. And some more money here in a road to a back-to-back regional championship. Barca have certainly made it difficult. We'll start with Chaussette on the carry, and we're going to see more of this from Devo, just harassing Reciprocity with these challenges. They do get out. It's a good first touch from Farah. Fruity sends it in front of the box. Actually gives the pass to Chaussette. Double commit. Ronicky came up with the save, but Reciprocity have to wait, so they'll get away with this one. But it just makes the clear all that harder. Flakes trying to get the boost and ended up just flipping off that ball. He had a lot of space. And it puts Barca back in their own half.
Barca, they were trapped in their own half quite a bit last game. And now it seems like this game is gearing up to play out the same way. Farah stopping this ball at the midfield. Reciprocity doing such a good job at keeping that ball at the midfield.
Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, no, it's not. The shot there. There it goes. Fruity will score, but Chaussette got bumped, and it helped him out here.
Flakes was expecting Chaussette to go for a shot, so when Devo bumped him out of the play, Flakes was a little bit surprised, didn't make the best play on the ball, and that rebound kicks out, and Fruity will take advantage. So a tough break there for Barca, and Reciprocity still on the upswing.
Another goal for them. Ronicky on the challenge midfield. Devo next. Barca, now you're wondering, starting to reel. Plenty of game left in game 5. Reciprocity back on offense. And another difference here, besides the double commits, they're just not winning as many of these challenges in their own half. Reciprocity, good job hopping on top of it. Farah couldn't get to this one, but the ball's still his. Chaussette here up a little close, was maybe expecting a quicker touch. He does get the flip route, set to Fruity. Fruity, one more. No, he doesn't have it. Flakes has the save. And Devo just trying to buy some time. Ronicky was getting harassed in the net by Fruity. Bought some time to get this pass to Chaussette, and he misses the ball. Some space now for Devo trying to move down the field, but a good touch from Fruity. Reciprocity to Chaussette, nothing. Denied by Ronicky. This is looking great for Reciprocity, James, about halfway through game 5.
Reciprocity controlling all the chances. I don't think this ball has left the blue half for more than 30 seconds total this game. Every time it goes past, Reciprocity clears it right back in. But still it's a 1-goal game. Barca, with just one counter, can get back into it.
Barca still haven't registered a shot on net. It's almost 3 minutes of gameplay. There's a good pass. Shot from Ronicky right into Chaussette. Reciprocity, Fruity attempting to clear. Will be denied in midfield by Devo, but they get one other clear. Flake's still coming back. He'll have this next touch. Good to get his undercarriage under it to keep it close. Banging it against the corner, certainly would have just given up possession. Ooh, and that demo will give Fruity a long clear for Reciprocity. Barca really struggling to find anything. That was probably the best look they had, and then Reciprocity denied them with that demo on Flakes.
Yeah, you could see Devo wanted to pass that over to Flakes. Good double tap pass. Farah waiting, bounces it in. The pressure mounting, it keeps building. And Fruity with a lovely double tap pass.
He had a similar one earlier that kind of put Barca in panic mode, trying to get the clear out. So Fruity, this season was really a good season for Fruity, if not, even if it wasn't the best season for Reciprocity. Fruity just became a star almost at times, especially the games that Barca or that Reciprocity looked good. They'd love to see more of that. Double commit, but Chaussette finds the touch, still dangerous. Fruity, the only man in net. That miss will actually, Fruity just couldn't figure out which way that ball was going as he was creeping forward, but the shot doesn't ever come. Devo, no boost, good pass to Flakes, and Barca finally rolling back in. They cut the lead in half.
And they get on the board with enough time to do some damage. It was a picture-perfect pass from Devo, getting that ball down to Flakes, who was waiting in the middle. So Barca, they're not out of this game just yet. A full minute to do something, tie it up. We'll see if they can do it.
Start with Flakes on the challenge against Farah. Now Fruity, next man up for Reciprocity. But Devo will win that challenge. Ronicky now on point, very tight here for Barca. Ronicky trying to screen Farah. Devo will be first to the ball. It's off the ceiling. Chaussette doesn't have the read. It is a tie game off the miss, off the backboard.
Devo, he's just waiting to see what Chaussette does. He plays the miss, and Chaussette does indeed fail to make contact with the ball. And just like that, in a matter of seconds, Barcelona equalized.
Struggles for Chaussette. Cost him the game. Game 3 on that miss, and now it's a wide open net. Can Ronicky get there? Ronicky bounced off the post and in. Call his name when you need him. Clutch.
And this didn't just go off the post, it went off Chaussette. Chaussette forced that into his own net. I don't think Ronicky had the angle. I think that one might have bounced out. So Chaussette, another potential error. I'd have to go back and take a look at it one more time, but if what I think happened, Chaussette own goaled that one, and that mistake might cost him. 15 seconds left for Reciprocity to come back.
Fruity attempting a long ball to Farah, but it's not even close. Time ticking down to 0. Flakes preventing Chaussette from getting out of his own corner. Barca trying to keep the ball away, but stealing it was Farah, and Devo has the save. No more time left. Do they have magic at 0 seconds to send it to overtime? No. Barca kill the ball, and it's a 4-1 win for Barca. They move on to top 4 in Europe.
And what a game that was. Barca, they were on defense until the final minute, it seemed like. And then Barca scores 3 goals in just over a minute to take the lead. And again, Chaussette, that critical mistouch that knocked it into his own net. We saw the play earlier as well where he swerved on the goal line. He let it in. This was not the best series that we've seen from Chaussette. Reciprocity, though, give them credit. They did bounce back when they needed to in that game 4. They got the win and almost got the win here in game 5. But ultimately, Barca will take the win. And I thought Ronicky played quite well in this game, both defensively, offensively. He was everywhere. So he, for me, was the MVP from Barca, but really everyone on Barca had their moments.
We have 2 semifinal matches coming up next. First, it will be Dignitas versus Mouse Sports. Will the Arju Magic continue to carry Mouse Sports to the skies, or will Dignitas send them plummeting to the ground? We'll find out after the break.